Welcome to Quiz a Millionaire. Today's show, Summary Sunday, featuring David Black.
Hey guys, today is Summary Sunday. We're going to recap this week and all the excitement. Lots of great questions, fantastic comments. I'm so glad everyone's enjoying all my crazy stories and things that I talk about. It's great. It's fantastic. Special guest came and left some comments, and I had to acknowledge her because she's awesome and I like her very much. Miss Lindy Glenn come and left some great comments that I don't know if she actually did or not, but she said she was listening to some of my videos. Now, I don't know, she's very flattering. She's a superstar. Right. So, a lot of people want me to actually talk about taxes. So we're going to call that Tax Tuesday. So come Tuesday, I'll have gotten past all the shakes and the nervousness to talk about taxes, because I'm going to have not have some coffee, put it that way. You got to be nice and calm to talk about taxes. It's very unsettling. So this week, we covered everything about why we should listen, why we should pay attention. That's right. And one of the other things that has come up a few times this week, and it didn't come up enough to where it jumped out at me, but I wanted to kind of touch on people asking about what happens when your inventory, like the inventory behind me, isn't selling. Well, so when you've spent, your dollars, however many you spent, $100, and you put up your 100 items, and they're not selling, well, there is a point where you have to make a determination. The reason they're not selling is either you've priced them too high, or they're just not going to sell. It's quite possible it's just not going to sell. And we can't make them sell. So you're like, but Dave, I hear the comments. People are typing away. But Dave, I spent the money. How do I get my money back? Well, so that's going to be part of the tax talk. Right. So I'll go into it a little bit, but it's going to take more than the 10 minutes that I'm fixing to spend here. It's probably going to take all week. Frankly, it's taken me 20 years, so I could talk about taxes every day for a really long time. Right. Okay, so when your inventory doesn't turn, we have to figure out what your KPI metrics are. Everybody's wondering what their KPI is now, aren't they? Yes. Yep. Love your KPI. Your KPI is called your Key Performance Index. And within that index, we break down your inventory turn cycles. That sounds so much fun. Nobody likes it when I talk like that. They don't. And when I go and I talk to these guys that are so smart, and they say things to me like that, I'm like, come on, can you use some English, please? So then he goes, well, how often does your inventory turn? Well, I got to be honest, I really don't know, because I'm buying so much and selling so much. Does it turn? Is that even possible? Yes, it does turn. Yes. You have an inventory turnover time. And so what we do is we say, we've invested $100 this week. And if you bought 100 items and none of them sell, what is our expected inventory turn time versus reality? Right. So everything we buy is based on speculation. It's opportunistic buying. I look at something and think it's going to sell, and it just may not sell because my opinion Well, we know, you know what opinions are. We know. Yeah. Yep. And my opinion is no different than anybody else's. Oh, look, this is really a nice rack of clothes. And it's not selling. I didn't pick any of this out. I don't know about you, but everything in the camera is backwards. But that blue and white shirt right there, it's kind of bothering me, and I'm staring at it. I got to be honest. I'm like, I don't know why it's on there. Shouldn't that have sold? So when I say that to my wife, she goes like this. That look right there says it all to me. Like, stop talking about my inventory. Well, okay. Well, then stop asking me why your inventory is not selling. Because you're asking me like I have some magic answer. I don't actually have a magic answer. But what I suggest is you just leave it up there. It becomes what's called inventory filler. And once you diversify into multiple products, product types, you start doing inventory layering and cost averaging, and soon, I say soon because it'd take you a solid month. Let's say you went out sourcing today, wink, because Lindy was outsourcing today. She told me she was outsourcing. Sorry. Okay. So you go sourcing today, you buy 100 products, and you spend, hopefully tomorrow, getting all your 100 products listed. We know you can't get 100 products listed unless it's you and your husband, or your husband and you, or however the team. I don't know who the boss is between, the wife and the husband, but a lot of teams out there. Somebody's got to make the decision. So let's say within 2 days, you get those listings done. Well, we know that's still incredibly difficult. I have high expectations of you. I want to believe you're going to get 100 items listed by Tuesday if you went out today. That's what I think. That's what I think. At least that's what I tell her. And then all this stuff right here behind me doesn't sell, and she looks at me like this. So we've already talked about that. Right. So you do that, and then it doesn't sell. But next week, you do it again. You're going to add another 100 listings. It doesn't sell. You start looking like this. I have a very difficult time frowning, by the way. So I have to help myself because I smile about everything. Even when stuff's not selling, I'm still smiling because I'm like, that's not funny. That stuff should be selling, but it's not selling. So 3 weeks into this, you've spent $300. You have 300 items all listed. If your items do not sell, it's quite possible that you're not really good at picking whatever those items are. And we should rethink the type of inventory that we're going to buy and sell. But let's just say they start selling, and each week you just keep adding on. And each week you're averaging your costs down. And as items sell and you generate profit, every time you make $10, technically 10 of those items become free. So after the course of a month and $400 and 400 items, and you sell 40 items that made $10 and you made $400 in profit, your whole inventory is free. Cut and dry. Now, on to the tax portion of this, which is actually very interesting. So you get tired of the rack right here. You get tired of it and you're like, oh my gosh, it's just taking up so much room. It's been for sale for 3 months. Well, 3 months is the point where you've decided to cut it off, and you're like, okay, what am I going to do with this? Well, see, this is the fun part. This is when you get to do, this is what I like to do. I'll tell you a little secret about me. I donated 7,000 toys last year. 7,000. Yep. Right. So, because I like giving toys away to children. So, you're going to take all those clothes that aren't selling that you paid for, and you're going to go find your local church. And you're going to go to the church and you're going to donate a bag of clothes, 2 bags of clothes, a whole rack of clothes, however many clothes you want to. And you're going to get a 501c receipt that the church says, well, these bags of clothes, we're going to give you a receipt for $10 a bag or $20 a bag. You go in there and you say, hey, I got $40 in clothes in these bags. Give me a receipt for them. And the church says, hey, thanks. Here's your $40 receipt. Like that. Then you put that with your receipts. That's going to offset your purchasing by $40, which is fantastic. So, a big portion of what we do is the hard part. 10% of buying and selling is actually just the buying and selling. The other 90% of your small resale business falls under inventory, finance, employee management. So there's some of the other things that we still have a lot to talk about. And within each of those areas, you got to break those down too. So there's still a lot more to it. So we're starting off just with the buying and the selling, and we pick a product. Listen, Apple, when they come out with iPhone, right? That wasn't their first and greatest invention. It might be the greatest, but it was not the first. And they had tens of thousands that never got anywhere. So the biggest, largest, richest company fails just like we do. I've gone through hundreds and hundreds, thousands of products that I've tried to sell. I buy it, I try to sell it, it won't sell. That doesn't stop me. I keep going. I'm going to find something. I'm going to keep buying and I'm going to keep selling, and that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to keep trying. And then you're going to find that item that starts selling. Well, then you don't get hung up on that. Like, you see what happens? Don't get hung up on it. Find something else. And you keep working at it. Because that's how you actually start seeing that you're going to start making money. You get in a rut. You go to your thrift store. You go to the same rack. And you're like, I want short sleeve polos with a shark on them. Well, you go into that. How many times you go in there and they just don't have it? And then you start looking at other stuff, and it feels really overwhelming because you're just like, oh my gosh, I don't know what else. Well, some portion of this, you have to realize you're going to have to buy some things that you don't really like. Like, I go in there and I'm like, wow, that shirt would never sell. That blue shirt right there, it would never sell. I didn't buy that shirt. Nope. She did. So she thought it would sell. Well, I think it wouldn't. She thought it did. Sometimes the other half of your team or just one of your friends, right? Everybody has an opinion and everybody likes different things. So you have to think a little bit outside the box, outside of your comfort zone. Because if your comfort zone is here, get lined up on the camera, here, right here, right? And then you start bringing on things that you don't feel comfortable with. But then suddenly they start selling. Your box just got a lot bigger. See that? And then we're going to do it again. And again, and again. And pretty soon, boom! Your box is too big to handle by yourself. Which then leads us into why you have a team member, or an employee, or a husband, or a wife, or a friend. I don't really recommend bringing your friends in because it gets really difficult when they don't do what you want, and then you have to fire them because they typically aren't your friend anymore. Okay, anyway. So once your box is so big, well, hopefully by then, you have a couple of employees, one employee. You're starting to scale. It's starting to feel, you can feel the money turning. And then all the stuff that's not selling, you won't even look at it anymore because it becomes filler inventory. Because you want, when someone clicks on Lindy's store, click, oh my God, look at all this stuff. And that's where they might find something they want. They might find that blue shirt, and they might want it. So you have to think about how you're going to layer, diversify, add on your products, start thinking about your cost averaging, what your expected return is. And there is a point where your inventory will become so big that you just don't want it in your space, whether it's your house or you've got an office or you're keeping it in your garage or your bedroom or in my this was my room. This was it right here. I'd come in here and I'm like, man, this is nice. I love wow, your inventory's in my room. So how long is this going to stay in my room? And then she looks at me like this. It was just a question. That was it. I just had a question. So keep in mind, add on, layer, average cost. Write it off. If you're making profit, if you've made $1, each dollar in your inventory becomes zero. I know people that resell, and it's not like I'm trying to be mean, but I'm just like, so how much money have you made off this inventory? Oh my gosh, I've made $2,000. Really? Well, how much did you spend? Oh my gosh, it's ridiculous. I spent $400. Yeah? Okay, so how much you got left in cost? $200. No, actually you have zero. You're actually negative. That's now free inventory because you actually made more money than you spent. That's making a huge profit. Sometimes people get very confused. But that's okay because I'm here to go, don't be confused. It's actually pretty easy. You're making money. You might not be making as much as you want. Little box. The box gets bigger. You make more. So we start here and we work to here. And then pretty soon we need both hands. And then we got to do like this. And then the box gets so big and heavy, it takes 2 people to hold your box. Then pretty soon you need 3 and 4 and 5. And then you'll be going, dang it. I've got so many problems. I don't know what to do. I'm like, I know, because your pockets are full of money. And that creates all kind of different problems for you that you'd never had before. Because suddenly you pay all your bills and you're paying all your employees. But it's all these little nagging problems. It's that one customer that emails because they're just not quite happy with the item that they bought from you. And you're like, man, I sure am tired of dealing with this. Yep. I feel your pain. I get tired of dealing with it too. I don't even want to know. Nobody in the office even comes to me and says, yeah, this guy or this girl or this woman, this old lady, whatever. I mean, whoever it is, whoever it is, it doesn't matter. They're very unhappy and they want to return their item. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry you're unhappy. Please let me refund your money for using my item for the last 30 days. I've enjoyed you doing that. I don't want to deal with it. Because when your sales get big enough, you'll want to hire someone to filter out all the noise. That becomes noise to you. Because you've got a bigger picture to look at. You got this big, huge box that you're trying to figure out how to move around. And you got to put like a dolly of people under it to have all those people moving that box because it's so big with so many products in it that you're maintaining huge payroll, big building, customer service, and your own life. It's huge. But that's what you're working for. Or you just want to make your box this big where you can manage it and you can make enough money where things are just going to be awesome. Because it doesn't matter whether it's here, they're awesome. This is awesome. This is awesome. What I wanted to be awesome was way out here. I wanted a box that required a whole lot of people. Because that's what I think is awesome. But for you, your awesome could be here. Your awesome could be like this. And that would be awesome for you. And then once you get to that, you may reevaluate. You're like, well, you know what? Now that I'm here, not so awesome anymore. Then you just work to make it bigger. And I'll make plenty more videos. You guys just keep the comments and questions rolling my way. And we're going to have a Tax Tuesday. I can't even, I think I threw up in my mouth a little bit just saying it. Because that people say 4-letter words are bad. TAX. This was Summary Sunday. I'm Dave. I'll catch you soon.